Hello everyone, today I would like to explain the important topic in syntax, which is deep structure and surface structures. This topic is important because it helps us understand the relationship between meaning and form in language. Sometimes sentences look different but mean the same thing, and sometimes they look the same but have different meanings. Deep and surface structure help us explain this. In this presentation, I will explain the core concept of deep structure and surface structure, how grammatical transformations work, and why phenomena like ambiguity and movement exist in human language. By understanding this concept, we can see how language is creative, flexible, and infinite. First, let's talk about deep structure. Deep structure is an abstract mental representation of a sentence. It shows the underlying meaning and the basic relationship between elements in a sentence, such as who does the action and who refers it. Deep structures contain the basic word order before any grammatical change happens. Next is surface structure. Surface structure is the actual form of a sentence that we speak or write. Is it the result of the grammatical transformations are applied? In other words, surface structure is what we produce and what we hear in real communication. To summarize, deep structure focuses on meaning, while surface structure focuses on form. Different surface structure can come from the same deep structure, and this explains why a sentence can look different but still mean the same thing. There are several important transformations that connect deep structure to surface structure. For example, in passive transformations, the sentence John kicked the ball become the ball was kicked by John. In movement, the deep structure you bought what changed into what did you buy. Other transformations include subject rising, do support, and extraposition. All of these processes show how surface structures change while deep structure stays meaningful. Let's talk about ambiguity. A sentence can have one surface structure, but more than one deep structure. For example, the phrase, the shooting of the hunters, can mean that someone shot the hunters or that the hunters shoot something. This ambiguity happens because the structures allow more than one interpretation. On the other hand, structural synonyms happen when different surface structures share the same deep structure. For example, John kissed Mary, and Mary was kissed by John. Look different, but they express the same underlying meaning. Movement is another important concept in syntax. In the sentence, what did you buy? The word what originally appears after the verb in deep structure. It moves to the front of the sentence in surface structure and leaves a trace. This movement shows the sentence have hidden structures beneath that what we see. Sentences are not flat, they are hierarchical structure. For example, in the sentence, she believes that he knows that they live. We can see clauses embedded inside or other clauses. This recursive structure shows the language can expand infinitely. Let's look at the sentence. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The sentence has one main clause. The subject noun phrase is the quick brown fox, and the verb phrase is jump over the lazy dogs. The propositional phrases functions as additional information about the action. In the sentence, the subject-noun phrase is more complex. The girl who is wearing a red dress contains a relative clause. This relative clause modifies the noun girls, while the main verb phrase is dancing. This shows how clauses can be embedded inside noun phrases. The sentence is structurally ambiguous. In one deep structure, with the telescope, describe how Stefano saw someone, meaning Stefano used the telescope. In another deep structure, the phrase describes the Heskila, meaning Heskila was the one carrying the telescope. This shows how one surface structure can represent two different deep structures. The sentence contains an embedded clause introduced by the complementizer job. The main clause is she believes, and the embedded clause is the earth is round. The structure shows subordination and hierarchy in syntax. The sentence where I grow up is a relative clause and modifies the noun house. The main clause used passive voice has been demolished. This example shows both relative clause and passive transformation in one sentence. That's it for me. Thank you for listening.